Hey everyone, Mystery here, and this video is just going to be hopefully pretty quick. Just going to use it as sort of a wrap up on my thoughts about Havoc. I am probably not going to be touching Havoc for probably like a week or so while I get fucking Path of Exile out of my bloodstream. I'm just going to be playing that a lot because I'm obsessed with it. But I did want to kind of give my thoughts on whether or not the game mode is fun and what I think its biggest issues are. So first off, is it fun? I do think it's fun. I think that the difficulties from, I want to say 25 and up to like 40 are probably fun. I haven't gotten past, I think I'm at 32 or 33. So that's sort of the experience that I've had. What I will say is that from, I started at 16 because I did an Auric Maelstrom. I can't even fucking imagine doing from 1 to 16. But going from 16 to 30 or 16 to like 25 or wherever it got reasonably like hard and like I had to think about playing was just a mindless slog. I don't understand why, if this was supposed to be the end game mode for like mandatory, you have to group up with people because this content is so hard, why it's so like easy. Like why did they scale down the difficulty so much? They could have made it so that half of the levels, from 0 to 20 were like normal difficulties in the game, and then 20 to 40 was the high difficulty stuff, the higher difficulty that's currently in the game. That would have been much more sense making to me, but we got what we got, right? So I think that the slog to get to play the content is really really annoying. I have been enjoying it once I got to content that's actually difficult because I have to like actually play and think about like how I'm playing and think about the builds I'm bringing, etc., etc. So that feels good. The and I think it's a good addition to the game because more and more people will end up being players who need that sort of content as they get more skilled at the game. However, its implementation might ultimately end up fucking that. And what I mean by that is the quick play, the lack of quick play on it. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they enable quick play on it in some way. But like basically, by the time players, especially all these new PS5 players and stuff, are skilled up enough to reasonably play Havoc, like to play Havoc to the higher difficulties, there's not going to be that many people left like playing Havoc. I wouldn't imagine. People will have moved on to other stuff. The game has ebbs and flows, and I don't think people are sticking around for Havoc, especially in its current iteration. So you're going to need a quick play system in there to kind of keep people being able to find matches. Even me, a famous fucking YouTuber, is not able to find matches, even with my friends list or anything like that at certain hours of the day, which is crazy. I'm playing on US East. Like I should be seeing matches, but I'm not because there's not that many people playing it. So that's going to be a real big problem for it. What I would love to see instead is, yes, like from 30 to 40, the difficulty is hard, but from 1 to 29 it's really not, and it's very easily quick playable. So why isn't the whole game mode just quick playable, and then when you get to 30, if you're fucking cracked and you quick play with some people, you might pull it out, but most people are going to be like, oh fuck, you can't complete 30 on quick play. You'll invite people to the group after the fact and you just play that instead of having this whole like separate party finder thing. Just use the systems that are already in the game. Just have it be like, oh yeah, well, we failed at that mission probably because like we had some weak links. I'm gonna invite the one good guy to the group, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna build our group. I've got some friends, and you would pre-build your party, or you'd go in with like 2 or 3 people that were pretty solid on it, rather than having to have all the people in your team to like start it off in the first place, which is really kind of annoying. So I think it's just gonna be prohibitive to continued enjoyment of the game. Even like players who are in groups of sweaty people that would continue playing Havoc, like the interest isn't going to be there long term to continue playing Havoc. I don't think, not in its current state, unless they add some new fun modifiers. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just they need to make it either have way more draw for players so there's more players in the pool, or it just needs to be quick playable so that we can find matches all the time, because I kind of do want to play it. Like I would have played it a lot more over the 3 days I had before Path of Exile came out, but I was like spent about a quarter of my time just waiting for players to come online, waiting for players to fill the group finder that weren't just zealots, like all that stuff just took forever out of my life, and it felt really, really bad. And then you have to factor in the fact that if you are just starting, if you're just picking it up, at best you are going from 16 to 29 before you reach any reasonable like challenge that's higher than the game's difficulty. So that's like 8 hours, of gameplay. That's a lot of lead up to to just start having some additional difficulty, and I'd love to see that cut back. Okay, so yeah, I think that's sort of what I feel about Havoc right now. What it needs in the real short term is it needs more modifiers. It needs to be more interesting. Right now we kind of have like two modifiers that are pretty much dead and boring, and we have two that are like actually kind of difficult and change the game up a little bit. But yeah, it just needs to be more interesting, a more fun game mode. A comparison I saw a lot of people making was to Chaos Waste, and I did make that comparison in my video, which is that like Chaos Waste has no inherent benefit to playing it, right? It's completely detached from the outside game, just like Havoc. Pretty much, you did get a little bit of resources for the outside game, but like you could play it independently and it didn't matter. And the reason you keep playing Chaos Waste wasn't because, oh damn, I'm doing it for these dank resources, or I'm doing it to prove I'm really good at the game. It was because it was just fun enough on its own. So if they continue to expound upon the sort of the model for it and make it have all these super crazy modifiers, if they make this thing like crazy, I'm talking about like these modifiers are wild. Like they were saying there would be really fun stuff in the game when it launched, but I don't think any of these modifiers are particularly fun. How about you? Yeah, if they could do that, then that would like definitely bring me back to playing the game if it was really, really fun. My biggest hope in general is that they're following the exact same path they did for Vermintide 2. So this was the Weaves expansion. So the next expansion, the next really big expansion, will be the Chaos Waste expansion, because that is the one thing I want for Darktide more than anything else in my life. Is I want Chaos Waste in Darktide. Do it, Fat Shark. Do Chaos Waste. Okay. All right. That's everything for me. Thank you guys very much. Come check out my Path of Exile streams. Watch my video. Watch my Psyker video. It's coming out today, or it probably is already out. And I love you. Bye.